So in this video, we're going to solve for a variable in terms of other variables. And this time we're going to put together the skills that we did in the last two videos. So we might have to add or subtract and also multiply or divide. So for example, solve for x. So the first one we're going to do here is going to be 5x plus 11y equals z. So if you notice in this problem, I have three variables. I have an x, I have a y, and I have a z. And the thing that I want to get all by itself is this x. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to notice that the 5 is being multiplied times the x, and this 11y is another piece on the same side as the 5x. So the first thing I want to do is I want to take this piece here and I want to move it to the other side. I want to get the term that has the 5x all by itself. So we're going to subtract 11y from both sides. And if we do that, these would cancel each other out. And on the left-hand side, I'm left with 5x. On the right-hand side, these are not like terms, so I cannot put them together, so they just have to stay the way they are. So we're going to have z minus 11y. And now we can turn our attention back to the 5x. So the 5x here, the 5 is being multiplied times the x. So what we're going to do is to undo this is we're going to divide both sides by 5. So if I divide the left-hand side by 5, I also have to divide the whole entire right-hand side by 5. So these cancel, and I'm just left with x. And on the right-hand side, I have z minus 11y divided by 5. I just leave the answer that way. You could, if you wanted to, split up, since there's only one thing on the bottom and two things on the top, I could split it up as x equals z over 5 minus 11y over 5. Either answer is totally correct, so it doesn't matter which way you do it. So here's another example. In this one I have 4 is equal to 6x minus 16y. So again, the term that has the x in it is here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get this whole entire piece all by itself. And to do that, I have to add 16y to both sides. So on the right-hand side, the 16y's would cancel each other out. So on the right-hand side, I'm going to be left with 6x. On the left-hand side here, again, 4 and 16y are not like terms, so I cannot put them together. So we're just going to write it as 4 plus 16y. And then if we look here, I have 6 times x, and I want to get the x all by itself, so I want to divide both sides by 6. So if I divide this side by 6, I'm also going to divide this side by 6. And so my final answer is going to be x equals 4 plus 16y divided by 6. And you can leave your answer that way. You could also split the fraction up like I did in the last one. So I'd have 4 over 6 plus 16y over 6 equals x. And in this case, 4 and 6 both have a factor in common. So 2 goes into 4 2 times, 2 goes into 6 3 times. And 16 and 6 also both are divisible by 2. So 2 goes into 16 8 times, 2 goes into 6 3 times. So we end up with x is equal to 2/3 plus 8y over 3. So that's another way you could write it. But you could just leave your answer like this, and that's okay. So again, you want to think about trying to get the piece that has whatever variable you're trying to solve for all by itself. So here I got the 5x piece by itself. Here I tried to get the 6x piece by itself. And then you basically, once you have it by itself, you want to do the opposite like we did before.